This lesson is on the CPA, the APA, and the IPA. And these are abbreviations for commutative property of addition, associative property of addition, and identity property of addition. Okay? And basically, what each of them says is this. The commutative, I always like to say, well, commutative is like communicate. So it's just communicating in a different way. So the commutative property of addition basically is saying that 5 plus 3, which equals 8, can also be written in a different way. 3 plus 5 equals 8. Now, as we know, if we did this in subtraction, it would not work. That's why it is a property of addition. It's also a property of multiplication because it works with multiplication too. But we're talking about addition today. So the CPA, the commutative property, it communicates either in this way or in this order. Bloop, 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 flip, flop, flip. Okay? So that is commutative property of addition, the CPA. Saying those words over and over and over again to yourself will help you get familiar with those words and get them ingrained in the brain waves that are floating all over inside of your head. So keep saying them. I will keep saying them so you keep hearing them, and that will help. Commutative property of addition. Now we have the associative property of addition. And the associative deals with parentheses. So when you see parentheses, you can maybe think associative. So if we have 5 plus 2 and then we add a 3, okay? 5 plus 2 and we add a 3. Basically, with the operation, with math operations, if you see something in the parentheses, you do that first and then you add the other side. So what this is saying is that equals 5 plus 2 plus 3. So these concepts equal each other, okay? So we have 5 and 2 is 7, and then we add a 3, and we get 10. We have 2 and 3 is 5, and we add a 5 in front, and we get 10. So either way works, and that is why it is called the associative property of addition, or the APA. And lastly, we have the IPA, and the IPA is the identity property, and the identity property deals with the 0, because the 0 basically states that it's identifying the other number in the problem, because 0 plus anything plus 0 equals itself. Okay, so, and this also works just like the CPA, where you could go 0 plus 8 equals 8, either way. But the identity property deals with that 0. Okay, so we have the communicative property, where you can flip-flop and they'll equal the same. We have the associative, where we have the parenthesis action going on. And then we have the wonderful identity property that identifies the other number in the dealio, okay, in the problem. The last thing that I would like to cover in today's lesson is the subtraction rules. When you subtract 0 from any number, and with subtraction we don't have properties, but we have rules. I'm going to get another board. When we have a number and we subtract 0, we get the same number. So it's very similar to the identity property of addition. If you subtract 0 from something, you get the same number. If you add 0 from something, you get the same number. Same different things. They call this, though, the, well, it's just a subtraction rule. The other subtraction rule is that when you subtract something by its own number, you get 0. So those are like 2 0 rules in addition. If you subtract 2 minus 2, you're going to get 0. If you have 4 apples and Walker ate all 4 apples, you would have 0 apples. If you had 17 bananas and Sawyer ate 17 bananas, you would have 0 bananas. Makes sense, huh? All right, so those are your rules for addition and subtraction. How out?